Today, we're getting pied in the face.
Brad's interviewing a QuaranTEEN.
And Ian's gonna talk about Jon. Let's go!
Let's go.
Arms out.
Arms out.
Yeah, checking social distance.
I think we're good.
I think that'll work.
I think that'll work.
In frame, let's go. What is going on, guys? I'm Jon G.
And I'm Allison D.
And welcome to Codswallop Hootenanny!
Codswallop Hootenanny!
Perfect.
Swallow.
Codswallop is kind of nonsense, and Hootenanny is what? It's a
Fiesta.
goof around. It's a fiesta, yeah, and it's a hilarious name. Apparently, we have a trivia show thing.
Yeah, guys. So we've got some questions. We've got Jacob here. Jacob, say hi.
Hello.
Hey, Jacob.
And Jacob is gonna read you guys some questions. He's gonna go Jon first, and then Allison. There's no
Yeah.
chance to steal in this game. You either get it right or you get it wrong. And there's a consequence. Jacob, what's the consequence?
Consequence is a pie to the face.
So Ethan's gonna make the pies, and then if you guys get it wrong, you have to pie yourself in the face. Because
Hands
we
behind the
don't-
back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands behind the back. Your nose has to smash into the bottom of that plate.
First
or who's
question.
first? Jon's first, right?
Jon.
Yeah, we
first.
flipped a coin. It was a very fair process.
Yep. It was first.
Question for Jon. What kind of clouds were in the sky on Michael and Dwight's stakeout of the Prince Family Paper Company in Season 5, Episode 13 of The Office?
What kind of clouds is in like the shape of clouds?
What kind of clouds?
Oof, man. I'm gonna say unicorn clouds.
Close,
I was thinking pink.
but incorrect. They were, for the audience, they were cirrostratus clouds. That's a pie, Jon.
I would have never got that, but I was close, yeah.
Cumulus. Just guess.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, you
good.
get in there.
You gotta
Get in
rub
there.
It. Rub it.
Yeah. Next question
All right.
for Allison.
First
I do
question
love
for
Red Web.
Allison is this. In a flashback scene in Frozen 2, no spoilers here, Elsa and Anna are playing with some toys. One of them was a character from another movie which was co-directed by the same co-director. Who is that character?
Finding Nemo.
That is
Fish.
incorrect.
Thank
I'm
you,
so
God.
sorry. It was Baymax from Big Hero 6. That's a pie, Allison.
I am gonna have to go check that out.
Pie time.
No hands. So sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna stick to your face. Just be ready.
And come on.
Oh,
got
my
There we go.
everywhere.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, Jon, we're sticking with video games for you here.
Okay.
According to the most recent data, how many total hours of stream time does the game Escape from Tarkov have on Twitch?
On Twitch, I'm gonna guess 12 million hours.
Multiply that by 4 and you would have been correct.
Ooh.
48 million hours on Twitch. That's a pie,
Wow.
Jon.
That is a pie.
Wow.
I forgot that I had to get pied if I got it wrong.
All right, next question for Allison. Wait, we gotta
He's
see the
resurrecting.
aftermath.
In the Netflix original Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which is the first monster chosen to battle in the arena at 48 minutes and 20 seconds into the movie?
Oh, the
Balls.
answer.
Balls. Oh, what's his name?
What?
Balzabar or something. He's
You
like,
might be thinking Bulbasaur.
That's who I was thinking.
No,
of.
That's
it's
who you were
Beelzebub.
thinking,
It's
but it's
Beelzebub.
incorrect. I'm sorry. It was
Ah.
a Venusaur. That's
Oh,
a pie.
I had
That's
a
actually
sword. I
super
was like
close.
close.
You could have got,
I was
like-
in the ballpark.
Yeah.
No mercy.
That
Wow.
looks like, you guys, that could be ketchup and mayonnaise.
Gotcha,
We
next
never know. All right, next question. Let's get one for Jon now.
How many
Jon.
more of these?
So many.
Pray for me.
Jon, you might be at an advantage with this question.
What?
What is the name of the land located in Zone C of Sector 5 in Call of Duty Warzone?
I'm not. So you said Zone C of
Zone
Sector
C
5.
of Sector
The
5.
land
Correct.
Pull out the
would
map.
have to be Superstore.
It is the Gorengard Lumberyard.
Oh, lumberyard.
Ooh.
Probably
That's a
not
pie,
as
Jon.
close, Yeah. Oh,
Oh no, that's not enough.
Allison
better.
did not want to talk.
That is better.
Allison, for the final question,
Oh, final.
Oh.
you're bringing us home with this one.
Dude, let it rip. Let
Yeah.
it rip.
Yep. In
Yes.
the 14th century, when the practice of quarantine as we know it began, ships arriving from infected ports had to do what before they were allowed to land in Venice?
They would have definitely had to shower. and they would have had to burn all their clothes.
Just keep going.
put
Just
on
keep
new
going. Just keep getting. Just
And-
make it a longer sentence.
Come on now!
Burn all
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
please.
like keep guessing in that fashion. You might eventually get it.
On that
They had
guy.
to
Yeah, you-
remain at anchor for 40 days was their
Whoa.
40
requirement.
days.
If your nose is unbroken after this, you did it wrong.
Oh my
Let's go.
goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
That deserves a round of applause.
Yes.
Dripping peaches. All right, guys. So we are going to send this over to you guys. Brad is going to head off to one of you, and he is going to go and interview you while in quarantine.
It's quarantine time.
Quarantine.
Well, hey guys, we're up here in Bennington. We're trying to get out and meet some of our students and seeing what they're up to during this quarantine. So follow me. We're here at the Perkinson's house, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm sure they're up and at 'em. They've been up for hours and stuff like that. So we're excited to see what they're going to do. This is their rooms up here, from what I understand, and they don't know we're here. So I'm just going to get some of this mulch here and see if we can get there. Oh man, I missed. Dang it. That was the wind. Hey guys! Dude, I know they gotta be up because their mom told me they've been up for hours, dude. They're still not hearing it. Hold on, I got an idea. I see this over here. If I can just, okay, that's not gonna work. We'll try to come back later. Hopefully they'll be awake then. We'll see you guys then. Dude, their parents told me. I texted him yesterday. He said he's gonna be awake. Positive this is the right house, dude. What if it's not? They gotta be here, guys. It's been like 4 hours since we first came. They gotta be awake now. Oh, that was louder. That had to do it. Guys, it's us. It's us. Dude, they're awake.
There we go.
They're awake.
Okay.
Who do we have here? How's it going?
Hi.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling sick at all? You feeling good?
Yeah? No.
Oh, you're feeling good.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Well, hey, could you just, maybe our crowd doesn't know you. Could you introduce who you are, what grade, and what school you go to for us?
Yeah, I'm Sam Perkinson. I go to Creighton Prep, and I'm a junior right now. So that's me.
Good to see you, Sam.
I'm Natalie, and I'm in 6th grade, and I go to Lifegate.
Hey, what's up, Natalie? Shout out for middle school ministry, all right? Well, hey, we're going to ask you guys some questions just so our students can see what you guys have been up to under quarantine this week. Sam, first question I have for you is, why are you just waking up this late in the afternoon?
You know, you kind of just caught me off guard. Like, I've just been sleeping in because I really don't have anything to do. With school being online, I don't really have much. Just not much desire to wake up early, you know? Like, why would I wake up early if I don't need to? It's almost like summer vacation came early.
Yeah, no problem, dude. We've been here like 5 hours, but it's totally cool.
Dang, my apologies. That's on me. That's on me, Rev. Sorry.
All right, Natalie, how about you? I wonder, the government just decided to give out a $2 trillion stimulus package. If you had $2 trillion to give out to Americans to help them, what would you do with that money?
I would probably give it to hospitals and help them with everything that's going on.
Cool.
And, yeah.
I love it. And how about for cats? What would you do to help them with that money?
With what?
Cats.
I have no idea. I haven't thought about that.
Okay, think that through. Cats are important people too.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sam, right back at you, man. How much money do you have?
I currently have about $134 in my bank account.
Dude, good job. I hope that lasts you through till the end of the
I
season.
really hope it makes me through.
All right, Natalie, I'm sure you've had a lot of free time to totally waste during this time. What has been your biggest time waster of where you've dumped hours of your life into?
Watching movies, probably Netflix. That's been a major one.
Awesome. Give us a show or two or a movie or two that you've been watching.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes. All right, Sam, back to you. Give us a good family time moment that you've had some extra time as a family.
Yeah.
A cool moment that you've shared together with your family during this time.
A cool moment actually happened last night when we had our round robin ping pong tournament, and I of course had to show out, and I went undefeated. Beat everybody pretty handily actually.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Congrats on the big W.
Thank you.
Natalie, back to you. Let's just say things get really bad and your family runs out of toilet paper. What are you going to do at that moment?
I am gonna run over to my neighbor's house because I know he's been stocking up. Yeah, I know he has a bunch of toilet paper in his garage because that's definitely what I'm gonna do.
All right.
So.
And let's say that he loses all his toilet paper and you can't find it from him or anybody else. Then what are you going to do?
Use Sam's books, probably.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, and Sam, back to you. Is there anybody that you've helped or feel like you've made a difference in anybody's life during this time, over texting or just whatever?
Well, I've just been texting a lot of friends. I didn't really understand or realize just how much like I depended on my friends, like seeing them physically face to face. So like I've been texting a lot of my journey group. We've been in touch. We're thankfully going to be able to meet digitally later this week. I don't know, I'd say, and a lot of guys from school actually, because a lot of them, we depend on seeing each other on the daily and just talking, joking around, having fun, but with no school, we can't do that. So I've been keeping in touch with them, making sure they're all good, stuff like that.
Dude, that sounds awesome. Well, hey guys, thanks for getting up so early at 2:30 this afternoon here and doing this interview with us. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you're doing well.
Yes,
and we'll hope to see you in person or on video soon, all right?
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys. Hey guys, that's them. They're doing great. Hope you're doing great too. We're going to kick it over to Ian next for the message today.
Have you ever been stuck on something and you just take a step back or change the way you think about it and the answer just jumps out at you? Like you're working on a math problem that you are really struggling with and you decide to go take a break, have a bowl of cereal, then you come back and the answer or the solution is just so obvious. And you're like, why did I struggle with this? Man, past Ian is dumb. Now, I've never been super into art, but there is a certain kind of art that I think is just fascinating, and it's called forced perspective. Essentially, it means that in order to see the art the way the artist intended for you to see it, you have to look at it from a certain distance or a certain angle, or think about those pictures of people that look like they're holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa. They used it in the Lord of the Rings movies to make the hobbits look super tiny. Or Cinderella's castle at Disney World. Spoiler alert, it's not nearly as big as you think it is. But there are some art styles that are just fascinating. 3D sidewalk art, shadow art, garbage art. No, the art isn't garbage, it just uses garbage, which makes it garbage? I don't know. But take a look at some of these pictures. When viewed from this angle, this is just a pile of garbage, but shift your perspective and it becomes a dynamic portrait. Or this one, when viewed from this angle, it's just streaks of blue. But when you take a few steps to the side, you see a frozen wall descending into a valley. You could almost fall in it. Or my personal favorite, a shadow portrait of Chewbacca from Star Wars. If the lights weren't on in this photo, it would just be a bunch of feathers on sticks. Not super exciting art in my opinion, but when you shine a light at it at just the right angle, you see it for what it was made to be. Now I'm gonna take a look at the Gospel of John today, right at the beginning, chapter 1, verse 1. This verse is forced perspective art. Now I know it's confusing, but let me explain. The Gospel of John is incredibly unique. If you didn't know, the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all tell the same overarching story. It's the story of how Jesus came to earth as a baby, grew into a man, as humans tend to do, performed miracles, taught of the coming of the kingdom of God, lived a perfect, sinless life, the only person who ever lived that didn't deserve the penalty for their sin, yet he died on the cross to pay for the sins of every person who would choose to believe in and follow him. And that's the story of the four Gospels, but the first three, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, these are called the synoptic Gospels because they kind of sync up. They tell similar stories, three guys that witnessed or interviewed people who witnessed the same events, but wrote them down and recorded them in slightly different ways. But John is unique. John is kind of weird. John sought to tell the story of Jesus in a much different way, as we're going to discover over the next few months as we're walking through the Gospel of John. And this point is revealed right at the very beginning of the gospel, where Matthew, Mark, and Luke share the story of Jesus with his birth, which sounds about right when telling the story of a person's life. The birth is a good place to start, right? But John does something weird. He starts the story at the beginning of time. Before the earth, the stars, the universe was created, John 1:1 starts with, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Okay, John, what the heck is going on here? Why would he choose to start his gospel, the story of Jesus, at the beginning of time, before creation? Well, before we answer that question, what is this verse even talking about? What is the Word? Does this mean that the Bible existed before creation, that the Bible is God? Well, no, that's not what the Word is in this passage. John wrote this passage in a language called Koine Greek, and the Greek term used for word is logos or logos. A logos isn't simply a written note, letter, or book. Logos is a revelation, a new message from the King of the universe, God. A new message that's going to change everything, change the way we look at God and change the way we look at ourselves. And that new message, that new revelation that's going to change everything, the logos, the word in John 1:1 is Jesus. So let's replace the word for Jesus in this verse and read it again. In the beginning was Jesus, and Jesus was with God, and Jesus was God. Okay, now this is beginning to make a little bit more sense. See, John starts his gospel, his story of Jesus before creation, because Jesus didn't come into existence when he was born, but he has always existed. He was with God, and he was God. Now, remember when I said John 1 was sort of like forced perspective art? See, John decides to take a different angle when he paints the picture of who Jesus is. When you read about Jesus like he's a historical figure, you read about what he did, what he taught, and you could conclude that he was a good man, that he cared about people, that he taught us to love people. He was a humanitarian. But that is only a small sliver of who Jesus is, and that doesn't even begin to paint the beautiful picture of Jesus' life. That's like looking at a bunch of feathers on a stick before the light turns on to show the true art of what's behind them. See, Jesus wasn't just a man. Jesus was God in the flesh. See, when God created humanity, he desired for humanity to love each other and to love him. Now, spoiler alert, when left on our own, humanity bends towards selfishness, evil, hatred, inflicting pain, giving into primal desires of the flesh. And in that state, humanity, we couldn't be with God. And that could have been the end of the story. God didn't owe us anything. He didn't have to do anything to save us or to make things right. But God the Father sent his son Jesus, who is God the Son, God in the flesh, to come to earth, to live that perfect life, to be the perfect sacrifice, because a just God requires just punishment. Wrongdoing requires punishment. So Jesus took that punishment on himself, died for our sins, and rose again 3 days later, showing that death and sin and brokenness have no hold on Jesus, and it has no hold on those who follow Jesus. See, John paints a beautiful picture of who Jesus is by stating from the beginning of his gospel that Jesus is no ordinary man, but he is God, who came to earth as a vulnerable baby and who walked among his broken creation. Guys, that is the Jesus that we follow. That's the Jesus that we read about, the King of the universe coming to die for us. So as we walk through the Gospel of John over the next few months, allow this to be the beginning of that beautiful picture that John paints for us. And keep in mind and believe that that is who Jesus is.